Can you talk about, I know you mentioned having played with a variety of relatives of Minnie Pearl. So can you explain kind of that connection and maybe just like the impact she has had on this area slash you? Yeah.
That's actually how the show got started. I got a call one night.
Even going back to
Dixie Shouse.
Her sister playing for Steve.
Her sister Dixie, yeah. Minnie Pearl's sister Dixie. Minnie Pearl's brother-in-law, Wash Shouse, was very big in the community, in the farming community, over Farm Bureau and several organizations, and they needed a singer. So that was me. I didn't play the guitar yet, so his wife, Miss Dixie, played the piano.
Who was Minnie Pearl's sister.
Minnie Pearl's sister. And so, we started going, and she would play for me, and I would sing. And then I told Mother one day I need to learn how to play the guitar. So my barber taught me a few chords. I'd go over to his house a few nights a week, and he taught me a few chords, and I picked it up from there. I don't read music, never have. I play by ear, totally by ear, and I like it that way. I think I've got a pretty good ear for music, and I know when I'm on. And I'm rarely off. I'll say that, I'm rarely off key. The only time that I'm not is where I may just fall short of a high note or something, but I even do El Paso, which gets really high in one spot. And I do the Vince Gill song, Go Rest High on That Mountain, where you get real high at the end. And I did it at a funeral one time, and I was even surprised at how well I nailed the note. You just got to believe you've got to cross that threshold. You cannot hold back. You've got to go on and go for that note. And if you miss it, it's a big miss. But 9 times out of 10, you'll hit it and it will sound great. So that's kind of my thinking on that is go on and go for it. Whether you fall short or not, go on and go for it, because if you hit it, it's the greatest thing in the world. If you didn't hit it, try again next time. Yeah, get it next time.
So then, after Dixie...
After Dixie...
then the next thing is the grinder switch hour.
Yeah, the grinder switch hour. We... Dale Reeves called me one night and said, Charlie Garner... Charlie toured with Dale. Charlie played bass guitar and drums and 2 or 3 instruments, and he was on the Grand Ole Opry with Dale. Toured with Dale a lot. And Charlie wanted to do a radio show. And I didn't know if he wanted to spin records or have live audience or whatever. And so we started doing the grinder switch hour at a little corner store on the square. We had just a little window. And the first show was Charlie Garner was there to view. Mickey was running the board. And I was there as the MC. And Mike Blackwell was on hand to be a singer. And our guest was Mary Beth Shouse Pruitt, who is Minnie Pearl's niece. And she had a lot of stories to tell about Minnie Pearl. So that was kind of how the show was based on Minnie Pearl and her support of the community and of music in the area. And Minnie Pearl actually did her first show above the grinder switch hour up there in the Knights of Pythias building, which is Doug Bates's office. They had a bankers convention from Nashville, and I kind of forgot about this earlier. They had a bankers convention from Nashville there, and they needed some entertainment. And somebody said, well, we've got a little gal here in Centerville that does a comedy act, a country comedy act. And she goes by the name, her name is Sarah Ophelia Colley. And they lived in the grinder switch area. And so she entertained them, and one of the people that was there was the vice president of First American National Bank in Nashville, who was Bob Turner, my great uncle. I didn't know this until I heard a Goodies headache powder disc with Minnie Pearl on there, and they said, Minnie, who discovered you? And she said, well, a banker out of Nashville named Bob Turner. And I said, that's my Uncle Bob. Because I had met a guy that was on that board of directors, and he said, oh, your Uncle Bob he ran the bank. Said the president was never there. Your Uncle Bob ran the bank, and he just called all the shots. I never met him, never met Uncle Bob, but he got Minnie Pearl her start. And I met Minnie Pearl on 2 or 3 different occasions. I interviewed her one time on the square, and I said, well, Miss Minnie, of course I knew her name was Sarah Ophelia Colley, but everybody called her Minnie. So Miss Minnie, I used to, your sister played the piano for me and backed me when I would sing in places. She said, oh, Steve, I know that. She said, I've got a picture of you and Dixie in my sitting room at home in Nashville. She lived right next door to the governor. And so she had that blew me away. I thought, she's got a picture of me in her house. But it was of me and her sister.
Yeah.
And her sister died of cancer. And that's when she started at one of the Nashville hospitals. She started like a cancer wing, and Minnie Pearl, she funded the entire thing. She married her pilot, who was Henry Cannon. He would fly her from here to there, and she married him. And he was very quiet, shy man, didn't say much. She did all the talking, and she was a very astute lady. She was very much a genteel lady, but she would put on that country twang, and she was just the best at it. Howdy! I'm just so proud to be here. But that's how I got to meet Minnie Pearl and did music with them.